Hello everyone, Photon here for another Team Fortress 2 gameplay commentary, and we got a really long gameplay here today. I'm playing the Sniper class on Badwater, one of my favorite maps, and I'm sure one of the community's favorite maps. And first, before we get into anything, I want to talk about the gameplay a little bit, as I usually do. I'm playing Sniper, like I said, on this loadout, besides my melee, which of course, melee as Sniper doesn't matter too much, but I used the two weapons that were updated in the move that update. I don't know what else to call it besides that, because for some reason Valve didn't give it a name. But that's the closest thing we have to name, so it's what I will be calling it. It's kind of a dumb name if you ask me, but oh well. First I'll talk about the update a little bit. I really love this update. There are a few things that I think are questionable, like I want to bring up right now in this loadout. I'm using the Darwin's Danger Shield, as you probably see. Now, the Darwin's Danger Shield was updated to give you, correct me if I'm wrong, because I don't have this in front of me right now, 15% extra bullet damage resistance, but 20% explosive damage reduction. I don't know how else you want to phrase that. And also, I do pretty damn well in this. Just watch the gameplay. It's one of my better Sniper gameplays. I'm not fantastic at Sniper. I'm certainly not bad. But, yeah, so I have no idea why they patched that. I thought the Darwin's Danger Shield, it got a decent amount of use, you know. I'd say, generally, things like the Girardi got more use, but it was pretty used. Honestly, the only Sniper secondary that I'm very happy got an update was the Cozy Camper, which now I believe you take a little bit more bullet damage, but you don't have that dumbass slowing down on yourself, which is, of course, a great thing. But the only one, that is basically the only Sniper secondary, besides the Cleaner's Carbine, which should have gotten a buff, I just remember that right now, that is not used. So I'm not sure, you know, you see the Razorback a lot. Razorback's a great weapon. You see Girardi, of course, SMG and stuff like 6s. So I don't know why, you know, it got that weird, almost not buff, side grade. I'm okay with it, you know, I'm fine with it, but I'm not sure why Valve put it in the game. Oh, that's my new spray, which you'll see later. Now, the Bazaar Bargain is another weapon that I'd love to talk about. I honestly, you know, I would say technically, on a technical level, on a practical level, not technical. Also, I don't know, look at all these demo men. They're everywhere. They're just everywhere here. I'm missing a few shots, but I don't know what is going, and that should have been a headshot. Come on, Valve. But, back on the Bazaar Bargain and the Sniper Rifle. Now, I think the Sniper Rifle is very good. Obviously, I think it is. It's, on a practical level, it is the best, because you're not always going to hit those headshots. You're going to hit them a decent amount of the time. You know, if in a normal game, I'd say, you know, you'll get a decent amount of headshots. Obviously, you'll be a majority of your kills. But, you know, how practical is it really to have a generally reduced charge rate, now to 20%, which is a little bit less than it was before. I honestly cannot remember the exact stats of this weapon, because Sniper's not a class I played, and this is not a weapon I used quite a bit. But if I played, I'd normally use the Sniper Rifle. But what am I trying to say? I'm sorry. You know, what's the practicality of having 20% less charge rate for that? You know, for building a charge rate, but only when you get headshots, and if you miss one, you could go back all the way down to 20% less. Now, I think that this can be worth it in some situations. Obviously, I think this Sniper Rifle is perfect for two kind of people, polarizing. Now, when I was doing this gameplay, I was in the zone here. I knew that I was going to record this, obviously I was recording it. I knew I really wanted to commentate over it, so I could talk about this, and in the middle of it, I was thinking about this concept with the Bazaar Bargain. It is the perfect trainer for a beginner sniper. Now, hear me out. You may say that it's technically worse for a beginner, but that's the goal. See, if you train a beginner sniper, you know, just someone who's first playing, or even if you're really trying to get better at sniper, which is one of the reasons I'm using it here, use this weapon, and that's because it'll put the mental thought in your head to always try and aim for those headshots, and since there's a consequence that it's not, your brain is going to feel it's more important to aim, when before you might just see a scout running and say, I'll just go for the headshot, I'll just go for the body shot, it'll kill it. But here, it'll train you to try and always go for those headshots. Now, you need to also learn, this is another thing that I feel people overlook so much. Body shots are powerful as hell. With any normal sniper rifle besides the Machina, but we won't get into the Machina today, it'll do 150 damage, which is the equivalent to a non-charged headshot, which is a lot of damage. It'll kill a medic in one hit, it'll kill an engineer in one hit, it'll kill, and the medic is the most important, and it'll kill a scout in one hit. So, if the scout's running by and you have full charge, it's probably a better idea just to go for that body shot, because you know you're going to get it, it's not really going to be too difficult to get it, and it'll be a nice easy kill. But I say, you know, go in public games and use this weapon, because it'll give you the mental set to go for headshots, and you'll naturally get better because there is a consequence instead of just missing your shot. And also, using this weapon is great for experts, because they're good at sniping. They can reasonably consistently get headshots, so in my opinion, there's no reason not to use this weapon. But, you know, I think they're very interchangeable. Use this or the sniper rifle and you should be fine. Another thing I do want to bring up is how important is charge. Now, I'll say this right now. I know a few other people have said this, and I totally agree. Team Fortress 2 has the best sniping in any game ever, period. The mechanics are great, the way it's executed is fantastic, the charge meter is a great idea, it works very well in the game, like I said, it's well executed, so it's very good. It's very good. It's, you know, in between easy and hard to get a headshot, can be hard, can be easy, whatever. But how important really is charge? I know I just said it's a great mechanic, and it is, because it's important for things like heavy, getting that full charge, getting that 450 shot on the heavy, and killing them, instead of doing 2 headshots where the heavy can react or get healed. Now, I did a little bit more damage there because I assumed stupid damage spread, which, if you don't know what that is, on normal servers, weapons can do a certain amount of damage, and it basically it randomizes how much your weapon will do. Where a scattergun will normally do close range, you know, 108 shot, it could do 112 or something because of damage spread, if that makes any sense to you at all. Now, how important is charge? Because if you see a medic walking by and you headshot it, there you go, you're good. But what's the reason if you're going to headshot the medic anyway? You get a higher charge rate, and you headshot it, and there you go, you do, let's say, 450 damage, the maximum. That's awesome, but you were going to headshot kill it anyway. Now, it's important for body shotting and headshotting heavies, but other than that, and you could say demo men and pyros, but generally when you headshot a demo man or a pyro, you're going to one-shot kill them, because I'd say good chance that they're 20, you know, they have a little bit less than 150 health, because they're not always going to be at full health. Now, how important, like I said, how important is charge? I think the Bazaar Bargain's a great weapon, because if you have a high charge rate, with which you can get with the Bazaar Bargain, and you can get with the City Sleeper, it's great, you know, you just go for those headshots, you can kill heavies in one hit, that's awesome. But another reason that I don't feel charge is extremely important. Now, I do think it's very important, I don't know, that sounds like an oxymoron, it's not extremely important, but it's very important. But, you know, how important is it? Oh, sorry, one reason, I honestly don't remember what I'm saying here. What I was going to say earlier in the video is, this is a video I am literally coming up with exactly what I'm saying right now. I'm trying a new style of commentary, where I don't really have things extremely planned out, like I normally do. But, back on the topic of charge, it's important for body shotting, but with the Bazaar Bargain, if you body shot, it'll get taken away. So then, there's no reason to do it. But it's also important for killing heavies, soldiers, demo men, pyro in one shot, if they have full health. Which, you know, it's very possible that they would have full health, it's also very possible that they wouldn't. But either way, you know, it's good to have a higher charge. But, so the problem is, I don't see why the Bazaar... Sorry, I remember what I was going to say. I don't see why the Bazaar Bargain is so bad. In some people's eyes. You can get those headshots consistently, awesome, you're going to have a higher charge rate. It's the perfect weapon for a beginner, like I talked about, and for an expert. And it's only 20% less now, that was one of the buffs, and it'll now max out at 200%, so it'll double the rate of charge that you normally have with your sniper rifle, which is awesome if you can get it. Like I said, higher charge is always great. I don't know how important charge really is in, you know, comparing just to normal headshots, but it's awesome that you have that. So, I feel the Bazaar Barkin is certainly an underrated weapon. I'd say I do think the sniper rifle is better than it, because on a practical scale, like I said earlier in the video, you're not always going to be getting those headshots. Even an expert, I said it's an expert weapon, but they're not always going to be getting headshots. You're going to miss some, you're going to hit some. For an expert, you're going to hit more than you miss, so that's why I think it would be good, but you're not always going to get them. So, I do think it's underrated. I think it can work just as well as the normal sniper rifle, but on a practical scale, the normal one is better, so it's what I usually use. Now, another thing I wanted to talk about in this video are the secondaries for sniper, because I used to be a person where I thought, oh, Girardi all the way, Girardi is the best by far, and I still do think that it's probably the best by a reasonable amount, but you gotta take into consideration situational things. We're not always going to be able to throw that Girardi. It obviously has a cooldown time. And I realized weapons that I used to really dislike when people used it a lot, like the, oh, I'm not using the normal, I'm using the shiv. That's off topic, but, I used to really dislike when, people used weapons like the Razorback, because I thought, oh, the Razorback isn't helping anyone. But it is, because one of the things I've realized in competitive Team Fortress 2, now this is obviously a pub, I'll probably post some more comm stuff later, but Sniper is the most underrated class. Obviously you have your big powerhouses, your demo man, your heavy, and then you have your medic backing everyone up. He's the structure of your team. But you have Sniper, where it is a support class in the most basic sense of the word. But it is a very powerful class, because just like Spy, except not broken, you have the ability to one-shot people. Now, you don't always, that's where charge comes into play. It's another thing where charge comes into play. But, you have the ability to one-shot a medic, which is huge. So that's why in lower levels, people really underestimate the power of a sniper, where he can one-hit kill you. And it can be difficult to get him, because he'll be far off or in a hidden place. Unless he has the Machina, you're not going to be able to know exactly where he is, or he has the Hitman's Heatmaker, Heat Taker, whatever the hell it's Valve changed it to now, and it's called. And you have the Focus Meter Charge, which that is another very underrated weapon that I'd like to go over sometime. But yeah, so that is something huge. It's a huge powerhouse. That's why you see in other levels where everyone will stay back until the soldier bombs in, until the demo man spams those pills to take out the sniper, because you don't know where he is, or you know where he is, but he's there. He can kill everyone, really. Obviously, not extremely fast. He has to reload and everything, but he's a huge powerhouse in this game. And this gameplay, I'm afraid, might be getting a little bit boring here. This was a very long life. I'm doing pretty well, I think. Just got that medic. So, yeah, Sniper is a very underrated class. But of course, in pubs, it's overrated. Everyone plays it. You can't have a... See, this is one thing I'll bring up. Like I said, this commentary may seem a little bit scattered, but because I'm trying different things, I'm trying to see what feels the most natural to me and what feels the best for you in terms of commentary. This video is coming to a close, but one thing I want you to think about is people say, oh, we need more heavies, we need more demos. You could have 4 demos, you could have 4 heavies, and 2 medics, 3 medics. What's that going to do? You need your support classes to counter the other team. Every class in this game has a counter, and every class counters another class. This is why I love this game, it's why it's so balanced, except for a few select weapons. But that is all for this video, I'm sorry. I really got on a roll at the end. Sorry I have to cut it soon, but that was Photon. I'll see you guys later. Peace!